Hello and welcome to another sub video day. Today we're going to continue where we left off yesterday. You might even notice the screen is exactly the same headline as what we talked about yesterday. So we'll pick up there. Before we get started though, I need you to have a pencil, notebook paper, and a calculator. I'd prefer that you had the smaller calculators because those are the ones you'll see on the MCA test. If we run out of the smaller sets of calculators, you can certainly help yourself to a bigger one, but I'd prefer the smaller, simpler calculators for today. Go ahead and pause the video at any time during the presentation here if you want the kids to share or anything to say, or if they're not prepared. So if the kids aren't quite ready with pencil, paper, and a calculator, go ahead and pause and start right back up when you're ready. Today we're working with volume. Volume again is the amount of space this solid figure takes up. Now, we've mainly been working with these cubes like this, and then we got into these irregular shapes. Well, now we're talking about the triangular prisms, and we're going to figure out how to find the volume and surface area of those today. So that's our plan. First, let's start by finding the volume of triangular prisms. It's similar to finding the area of a triangle, and it's similar to finding the volume of a rectangular prism. So think back to the area of a triangle, all right, and then think back to the volume of a rectangular prism. At your group right now, looking at what I've underlined, take a guess. What can we do to find the volume, how much space this takes up? At your group, see if you can come up with a plan or strategy that may work. We'll then share it as a group and then start the video again. So go ahead and press pause, share. How are we going to find out the volume? Alrighty, we are back, and I'm hoping that as you talked that maybe two of these triangular prisms put together would equal a rectangular prism. So really, they're not that far apart if you put two of those together. So this picture might show it a little bit better. Imagine that I cut this prism right through here, and now I have my triangular prism that you see right there. Or imagine that I had another prism on here that would be connected to there, and now you have a rectangular prism in there. Maybe I'll draw the whole thing so it's a little easier to see. Hey, that's a rectangular prism, Mr. Raske. Yes, it is, and we just cut it in half to make the triangle. So I said it was similar to finding the area of a triangle. Remember, area of a rectangle, quadrilateral, is length times width. Now, simply to find the area of a triangle, we did half of base times height, length and width. Notice what did we do here? We cut that in half. So we're going to take this 1/2 from our area of a triangle model. Then I also said it was going to be similar to finding the volume of a rectangular prism. Prism volume for a rectangular prism, the ones we've done for the past week and a half, length times width times height. Well, for a triangular prism, we're going to take our length times width times height, and we're going to divide it by 2 or multiply by 1/2. Remember, anytime this is next to parentheses, it means multiply. So essentially, we're going to do length times width times height, and then multiply it by 1/2 or divide it by 2. Length times width times height divided by 2. So it's kind of that combination of what we've used before and what we're going to use now. So here's our formula up in green: 1/2 length times width times height. All right. One thing I wanted to remind you of: multiplying by 1/2 is the same thing as dividing by 2. If you have a cake, cut it in half, you divided it into 2 pieces. Cutting it in half, dividing by 2, the same thing. Let's get started on the real deal here. Using our formula in green, yes, I am already giving you the answer. So let's see if we can get that answer and find that answer on our calculator. So take out your calculator. Please, I'll take mine out, and I'll move mine over. Here we go. So clear it out. Anything that was left on there, you want to clear away. Now, starting with our length. Our length is 8, so go ahead and put 8 into your calculator. Times our width. Our width is 6, so times 6. Times our height, length times width times height. Our height is 9 times 9. That equals 432. So if this were a rectangular prism, it would be 432, but now it's triangular. So it's half of that, which means we can take our current answer, which you should be able to keep on your calculator of 432, divide that by 2, and that equals 216. Remember, our label is centimeters cubed because we're still finding volume. We want to do it one more time just to check it. Remember, calculators, we always do it 2 times in case you have chubby fingers or maybe a slip of the pen if you're doing it on the board. So quickly into your calculator again. 8 times 6 times 9. 8 times 6 times 9 equals 432. Divide that by 2 equals 216. Yep, I had the right clicks with my fingers. Nice job using the formula, length times width times height, and then go ahead and divide it by 2. Alrighty, here's a new one for you. What's the volume of this triangular prism? I'm giving you the formula right here. What I'd like you to do right now, using your pencil paper, using your calculator, I'd like you to find the volume. Find the volume of this triangular prism. Alright, length times width times height divided by 2. Go ahead, pause the video, and then we'll come back and check your work in just a moment. Pause the video now. Hello, we are back. Hopefully you were able to use your calculator efficiently and you were able to come up with 2,400 on your calculator and of course centimeters cubed. Let me get this out of the way. Still see the answer. Whoops, wrong button. Grab my calculator again. Trying to do everything right there. Okay, so clear it out. Length times width times height. And again, order really doesn't matter. 10 times 8 times 60. These are big numbers. Equals 4,800. Divide that number by 2. And that equals 2,400 centimeters squared. I did my length times width times height. 10 times 8 times 60. I took that whole answer. Divided by 2 or multiplied by 1/2 depending on how you want to word it. Very good. Hopefully you got that one. Here's another example. All right. Length times width times height. Divide that by 2. Again, you can use pencil paper, you can use calculator, you can kind of do a combination of both. Please pause the video. We'll see how you did in just a moment. Alrighty, we are back and hopefully into your calculator you came up with 972 centimeters cubed. Again, clear it out if you didn't already. Do it a second time if you've already done it. It's always a good idea. Do that calculator a couple times. 18 times 12 times 9. That's going to give me 1,944. 1,944. A lot of times when I do these like on an MCA test, I'll do that chunk inside the parentheses here. I'll do that chunk and then I'll write my answer down on my scratch paper. That way I don't have to redo all that over and over again. I got that. Good. Now take your answer, 1,944. Jot down on your paper. Hit divided by 2. And 972 is the correct answer. Well done. Hopefully you got that. Now we're switching gears to surface area, and I just wanted to demonstrate one of these surface area problems with you. You're going to see this on your review sheet that you're going to get in just a moment. But volume is how much space it takes up. Surface area is that snake skin we talked about, how it's the covering of the shape. One thing we did for our rectangular prisms is we did a front, back, side, top, bottom. Okay, so we had to figure out everything, the front, back, side, top, bottom. Interesting thing here though is there's actually going to be no top. If you look at this shape here, the top is an edge. There's no top, so we're missing a side there. So let's go ahead and see if we can figure out the front. All right, in this case we have a triangle as our front shape. Notice that they are equal there, and I believe we're supposed to be equal here as well. So 8 times 3 will give us 24, and we divide it in two. Remember, area equals 1/2 base times height. So we're going to take 1/2 of our base, 8, times our height, 3. Don't take the side, take the height, 3. 8 times 3 gives me 24. 24 cut in half gives me 12, so that means my front has a value of 12, and I might change colors here. My front has a value of 12. If I'm looking at over here as a net, I would put this as a 12. Now, if my front is a 12, I know my back is a 12, and I can go ahead and write that in there as well. If you ever have the net, it's really nice, because then you can write all over it and kind of decompose it. Otherwise, you're going to have to put your 12 back there, or just know that it's 12. That works as well. Now, we have 3 rectangles to work with. We have 1, 2, 3 rectangles to work with. We have to find the area for. The nice thing is we know that this is 8, this is 8, this is 8. So all of them are 8 by 12. This 12 goes over just like we did before, but we only have one less side to work with. So 8 times 12 is 96. 8 times 12 for this section, 96. 8 times 12 for this section is 96. So my side would be 96. My other side would be 96. And my top does not exist, but my bottom is also 96. So go ahead, add those up right now, see what you come up with for the surface area of this triangle. 96, 96, 96, plus 12, or 96 times 3, get an answer to plus 24. 12 and 12 make it 24. Either way, get that into your calculator, see what you come up with. We're going to share in just a moment. I'm going to give you just a moment of work time. If you need to pause the video, you can. If you're ready to go, we'll just hit the answer here in just a moment. Alrighty, if you added those up correctly, you would have come up with 312 centimeters. 312 centimeters squared. Remember, all our answers are square centimeters. We're adding up the squares, and notice there's even squares on this shape. So, finding the volume is easy. Volume is 1/2 length times width times height. Finding the surface area is easy. It's the same thing as what we did for rectangular prisms. The only difference is there's not going to be a top. Okay? You find the area of each of the shapes and add them all up. Remember, area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Otherwise, it's things we've been doing before. We're kind of putting everything together. It's getting kind of exciting. Math is starting to get to be fun, making you think, making you pause. Ooh, what did we do a while back? Oh yeah, 1/2 base times height. I know that. That's a 12. Then that's a 12. 8 times 12, 96. And there you go. Everything just cruises right along. That's the end of this slideshow. What I'd like to do, though, is go into your sheet for homework tonight. I do apologize, it got a little bit small. And maybe what we should do right now is just pause the video and pass out the review sheet. So go ahead and pause the video, get the review sheet passed out, and we'll kind of go through and explain everything. Alrighty, we are back. So you have this sheet in front of you now, and this is your review. This is your extra credit. This is due tomorrow. And so I'd like you to get some work time in class today, and then show it to Mom Bear and Pop Bear. Get that signature signed on that salmon colored sheet so you get the extra credit points. You're going to need them. You're going to mix up surface area. You're going to mix up volume. You're going to need the extra credit. Please go home and study tonight. I do apologize again that it is so small. The first couple slides, I'm leading you through everything. What you need to do is find the surface area using this side right here. Notice it says surface area here at the bottom. It's labeled 40 decimeters squared. You're going to go ahead and multiply length times width. Your front, remember the 3 will slide over. 5 decimeters times 3 decimeters, my front is 15. If my front is 15, my back is 15. Keep going, side, side, multiply them out, top, bottom, move 2 up, move 5 up, multiply them out. Add them all up, decimeters squared. Volume. Volume is great. Get out that calculator. Length times width times height. Put the numbers in. Length, 5. Width, 2. Height, 3. Multiply them out. I labeled everything for you right there. Please do not continue to work. Let's just talk through all of these one time, and then you can cruise through it on your own. Second page is exactly the same. Actually, I should say it'll be to the right on your sheet, exactly the same. Using the numbers, fill in all the little spaces. I know they're little. Keep it organized, keep it neat. You're good. You can use a calculator for anything you need to. Same thing on the third one. Go ahead. Surface area on the left, volume on the right. Our next slide here. Very similar. It's going to be surface area and volume. I even give you the formula, 1/2 base times height for those two, and I tell you there is no top section here. So multiply into your formula, base times height. Get your front, that's your back. The sides are going to be 10 by 5. Notice, this 5 is a little bit different. So there's going to be a side and a side are going to be 10 times 5. But the bottom is going to be a little bit wider because that's 6 meters. So that's going to be my trick right there. The bottom is going to be a little bit wider. Keep that in mind. Add up your total surface area right there. Volume again, plug the numbers in for the formula. Don't forget to divide by 2, and away you go with your volume. This irregular shape, what is the volume? Again, there's a couple different strategies, but the best one is to just count the squares. We had a couple students yesterday that were counting 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Remember, this is all 1 cube. That's all 1 cube. Remember, this is all 1 cube. It's drawn 3-dimensionally. That's all 1 cube. Also remember that these are not just floating in space. There is something supporting them underneath. So when you count up your volume, know there's something supporting it. Next one at top is 24 square centimeters. The volume of the box is 240 cumulative centimeters, or cubic centimeters. What's the height of the box? So here's your box cover. It's 24 square centimeters. Okay, we want to know how tall it is. How tall is that box? All right, they give you this. We just need that. How much do you need? 24 times what? Gives you 240. Shh, that's the answer. I know. Next one, they're giving you a missing piece. We talked about this, putting those together. Put those together. Divide by 270. The next one, a refrigerator is 3 feet wide, 2 feet deep, 6 feet high. How much floor space? This is surface area. Floor space is surface area. How much floor is it going to cover? And lastly, volume. What is the volume? I would sketch a little picture for this one right here. You can start by taking up the floor space and then turn it into a washing machine very easily. Okay? So go ahead and sketch that if you need to. What shape is this? I need the base. This is our base. This would be wrapped around, so this will connect there, and it'll make similar to our silo shape we did the other day in class. What shape is the base? Name the shape. What shape is this? What shape is the base? All right, it'll fold up together. This is the net of a shape. What shape? This is the net of a shape. What is the shape? This is a net of a shape. What is a shape? Check your base first, and then go from there. Now, that will complete your review sheet for your test on Wednesday. My goal is for you to work in class right now on this. If you get finished, that is awesome. We'll have a couple other activities for you to work on, and then be sure you go home and study tonight with Mama Bear and Papa Bear. Be sure Mama Bear, Papa Bear, Grandma Bear, Brother Bear, Sister Bear, who's ever a bear around, gets your salmon colored extra credit sheet filled in. please get that filled in for 3 extra credit points. You will need it on the test, I promise you. This is going to be a focused test, so you're going to want your extra credit on that. So we will see you tomorrow for the test. Make sure everything is ready when you arrive, and don't forget, be kind to the sub. Have a great day.